male dominance in leadership,
land ownership, limited space,
gender-based violence,
marginalized in terms of decision making, food security, land use management.
Though a good number of women contested the 2006 election and 2010 election, no women got in.
Climate change issues that are affecting women violates the rights of women to traditional ownership of land.
Issues affecting the whole community, and therefore women must be involved. Women are beginning to engage. They are also beginning to speak about issues that are affecting them. When you go to the community, absolutely you will feel the difference.
I see women rise from being sitting in a corner, not able to speak, and building that strength to speak. What an empowered woman could do.
On behalf of the women of Solomon Islands, we wish you, the women of Australia, happy International Women's Day.
I would like to wish women in Australia, all the women of Australia, a happy International Women's Day, because I think this day is important for all of us, especially for those of you who will be celebrating this day.
I would like to say one word, especially for the International Women's Days. We can say the word speak up against all form of women discrimination. That we have to stand up together to end the discrimination between men and women.
For those of us who have accepted the assistance from people in Australia, particularly women, colleagues, companions, we may not be with you in physical, but we are with you in spirit, and we'd like to congratulate you as women and share with you this moment of celebration.
Have a brilliant day and a wonderful concert. Thank you very much.
It's a reflective moment for me to reflect on these women leaders who are role models in our lives, who build us to be the way we are. My grandmother was my role model, and I'm sitting here today, and I want to wish everyone a very happy anniversary and a happy birthday to International Women's Day. Nakabakalehu.
High in the hills of northwest Thailand, in a sprawling refugee camp a few kilometres from the Burmese border, there's a school for young women who dream of a free Burma. These girls have just graduated from the Karen Young Women's Leadership School, run by locals with funding from Melbourne's International Women's Development Agency. This school teaches girls from a Karen ethnic background a unique combination of politics and practical skills. Many of these girls have lost family and friends back in Burma. Many have seen people tortured and killed. The Karen people have been fighting for independence within Burma for generations, against the country's military regime. That's why tens of thousands of them have ended up here, on the edge of Thailand, in crowded hilltop camps of bamboo and leaf huts. In the wet season, everyone carries an umbrella to protect them from the sudden downpours and from the sun. There's only one potholed, muddy road in and out of camp, and a rickety bridge to cross the fast-flowing river. Back at the school, each day starts at 5 with morning exercises. That's followed by a packed day of cooking, classes on human rights, and typing lessons. But even in a long day, they still make time for fun. Despite everything, these girls haven't given up hope of returning to their homeland, and that one day they will live in a free Burma.
This Inclusive Natural Resource Management project, it's a 5-year program. It works in 4 heavily logged provinces across 32 communities: Isabel, Renal, Western Province, and Makira. The approach used in this project it's called a strength-based approach. It really acknowledges that Solomon Island is a very resourceful country. So it helps us to realize the potential that we have to deal with the natural resource management issues. Yeah, like before, when projects usually come, people always look outside for things to come into the communities. But now it's turning it around. It's helping people to realize their resources and use their resources to deal with natural resource management issues. The very big strength, as I see, is having this community facilitators model at the community level, and gender there, 1 male, 1 female in the community. Yeah? It's really working well because, as I said later on, they were like the connecting tissue. Yeah. Anything that the community issues that comes up, they are the ones who are responsible to take up these issues, and you share it with us in the community reflection workshops, and from there we can make decisions. Yeah?
Well, there's lots of different types of violence, for one. So there's physical violence, emotional violence, and verbal violence. I think that we need to speak out about it.
I don't like it. It's wrong. I don't think it should happen.
I think it's a horrible thing. Like, no one should go through being sexually assaulted and just assaulted in any way. Just horrible.
I've strongly supported the protection of women against violence.
Violence against women, I think, is one of those things that you can never even put into words. It's something that should never happen. You think of your own mother, your family, your sister, and you could never imagine someone being violent towards them. It's never called for.
I think violence against women is something that's totally unacceptable. There's never any justification for violence of any kind, especially to a woman.
Well, I'm generally an anti-violence person, so it doesn't really matter who we're talking about. I'm pretty much against violence. So I think that violence against women is often a power relationship, and it's something that our society needs to address in terms of educating people and understanding that we all have the right to live in peace and without the fear of violence.
I just think violence is terrible, and I think it's a way to solve anything.
Violence against any human being is bad in general.
Where I live and where I came from, and the kind of work that I do, I think there's still a long way to go. And we have a lot of work to do, especially in terms of awareness.
I think it's a very serious problem, and we should take it seriously, and obviously it's not acceptable.
Feminism is something that I view quite positively, and I don't hear it much talked about these days, which sort of worries me because I think we still need to be thinking about how we live our lives in this world, but I think today's generation doesn't think as politically as much, but really it has brought about so many important changes around the planet in the last 50 years or so, and it's something that maybe should even be renewed.
I have choices, but also that people respect my choices, men and women, because I think that there's a lot of sexism that also comes from women towards women as well. Well, it's interesting because a lot of people say that young women aren't feminists and they don't respect the journey that has been taken, but I think that they're in a different place. They may not call themselves feminists because they don't associate with the term, but they are feminists because they expect that they have the right to do and say what they want when they want.
I guess it's a sort of movement that is, I don't know how current it is now, and maybe, I don't know, needs to be refreshed or revived a bit.
I think about strong women and women like my mother and my aunts and my sister and my niece. That's what I think about, I suppose, because they're very strong, independent women.
When I hear the words, I relate it back to, I guess, a movement sort of in the 60s and less so to what's going on now.
I think it's very important being a woman. I mean, being a woman, we should firstly have equality with men, but men should also respect us.
Well, I think females are pretty strong people. I mean, they're the ones that go through a lot of pain and give birth and everything. So I think you have to be pretty strong to be able to do that.
My mother, her idea of being a woman is still, bringing the family together and looking after those family relationships. But my father too, like he allowed me to carry the bricks when he was building the house, and he allowed me to participate in all those things, hold the power tool. I just want every girl to have the opportunity to have all those experiences, and then you can decide what you want to do, irrespective of whether you're male or female.
Personally, I wouldn't like to be a woman because there's all the problems like birth, the pregnancy, and there's everything that comes along with that. But I like their fashion.
I would like to think that my position as a woman would be treated the same way as I would treat a woman. It goes back a bit to the old thing, do unto others as you would, that.
In Germany, it's okay to be a woman because so our culture is like this, that the opinion is accepted and that you can think what you want.
I hope that there would be some developments in the future so that the women have more rights and a better life.
In general, that the opinion is accepted and that they have the right to explain what they think, and
You just think of women being equal, women being free, and I suppose it comes from a Western society. It's nice to see women being treated the same, and I suppose as well, looking at the world, it's not the same everywhere, and hopefully one day women will be the same as men, and I think we're definitely in the right direction.
I've grown up, I've always had equality and I've always had the same kind of opportunities as like male counterparts. Femininity is something that's very important, and it's part of your identity, and Matt said like equality, I think it's very important for both genders to kind of have equal rights and equal opportunities.
You have equal access to education, you have equal rights to decision making, you have, you basically can say what you think. That sort of safety that is given to all women, that they can say what they think, and they basically have same access to your information, education, and awareness to what there is, or be involved in making decisions. I think that's what feminism to me is.
I'm the flames that keep us safe. The stars say in a way it may be our day, but the archer won't fire at us tonight. He'll hold back at the sight of us. I can't stand another fight. So tell me so softly, so it sounds like a whisper, and I can fall asleep.
Feminism, I think, is one of those terms that in this day and age has been tainted as it's been misinterpreted by so many people across the world. But to me, I believe that it's about women standing united and fighting for the same equal rights and opportunities as men.
Oh, it's easier to wait if we know how long we're waiting for. Oh, yes, it's easier to cry if we're crying for something good. Oh, it's easier to fall when you're caught by.
You're going to be anti-feminist and say that's always nice to top the pretty girls.
To see when we can breathe. Let me breathe. Wait, wait for me to say. I'm gonna say something I've been trying to say for a long time coming. I'll find the words and I'll match the meanings like a crossword in the Sunday age, until I can work out the signs and talk with the archer